It's the simple things that make me happy. Slippers, I was buzzing.
Right, this is our preview for the trip. Lovely. The trip to Aston. We'll have an embargoed section. Actually, we won't have an embargoed section because there's nobody for it. So, Pete, away you go.
Very good afternoon. Hope you're well.
Afternoon.
Hope the slippers are okay. They fit.
Yeah, they fit. And in fact, I got them because last year's didn't fit. So you have the story now. It's absolutely pointless, but you know.
Halfway stage in the Premier League season. You're on 11 points. Just assess, if you can, where you think your team are at the moment.
I think it's fair to say it's been tough, and I would have liked to see the team have more points. I thought the team in times deserved more points, but that's how it goes. So you have to carry on, and it feels like at this moment in time, you know, if it feels like not enough, but at the same time, we're all very confident in terms of wanting to go and press ahead for the next 19 games. That's something that lives within the club. But yeah, you look at how we enter the league, and ideally we have to be better than 3 teams, and that's not the case at this moment in time. But our belief is that I mean, we're going to do everything we can to do exactly that.
57 points still to play for, which is worth, I guess, putting that into perspective.
Yeah.
When you look at the improvement that you've seen since that opening game against City, again, do you comfort yourself by thinking, if we carry on improving, then there's scope with those 57 points to pick up more wins?
Yeah, and for us, it's about the game in both boxes now. You know, I think it's a solid 9 or 10, at least 10 games now where we've literally been in every game, no matter what the difficulty of the opponent was, or whether it was a home or away game. We've been in every game, but you know, we've just got to be better in both boxes, and that's part as well of why the Premier League is the best league in the world, and it's something that at the moment it's still something we're looking to achieve consistently, but we're not getting frustrated by it. We're just working towards it. We're very much aware of where we've come short to this point, and you know, from that point onwards, we're just looking to get better.
How surprised have you been by Villa being up there in where they are at the moment? A lot of people, I don't think, expected them to be in a title race.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm a manager, I guess. When we played them, I felt straight away that they were a strong team. You know, I think they have a very clear structure as well. Very, very good idea of what they want to do. A lot of their players who were bought as young talents a while ago have now matured into Premier League players. You know, I'm thinking of Watkins and Bailey and these kind of guys. You know, they were young talents that had to go through some struggle as well in the Premier League, and they've matured into top Premier League players now. And so it's all kind of come together where the young players have turned into experienced players, and a new manager comes in with ideas that suit the team. And they're just going to keep progressing because it's the type of manager he is. So I'm not surprised.
And in terms of personnel, I mean, two players in particular, I think, that stood out for everybody the other night. Your goalkeeper and young Wilson. How delighted have you been by the way James and Wilson have performed in the last few weeks?
Yeah, I keep saying it every week. I think it's hard sometimes to single out individuals, but of course they've been terrific. But I keep saying it's an exciting team to work with. There's not a day where I don't wake up looking forward to just helping them, giving them a little bit of support to get over that hurdle where, you know, they turn performances into results. And, you know, we're speaking about Luka Koleosho not so long ago, and Lyle Foster and Zeki Amdouni, and that's the type of squad it is. But these guys are only going to get better. And that means that our team is still able to get better throughout the season as well.
You mentioned Lyle, and I see South Africa have made that final squad announcement now, and he's nodding. It's how much do you welcome that confirmation that Lyle is staying with you?
Yeah, look, I think it's very, you know, sensible decision from the South African FA. in terms of definitely supporting the advice of the experts. Like I said, we didn't have Lyle available for a month or more even, because we tried to put him first, and part of his rehabilitation, like I said before, is him being in a small environment, but doing his job as well, playing football. That's part of the things that make him happy in life. So it's just with the traveling and everything else. I think the people who advised us throughout this period just didn't think it was the time yet for Lyle. But in the end, we're doing, I think, collectively something that is good for, ultimately a South African, human being. Before we call it a player, like a South African human being, and we're taking care of him, we're looking after him, and he'll be ready to perform for his country again at some point, and this is just part of his process.
And I see young Aaron Ramsey, 21, I think, in January. How keen will he be to feature for you this weekend, going back to the old club and maybe a reunion against his brother?
Look, I can imagine that this is an exciting game for him and for the family, and they've been very lucky to produce two very talented young footballers, and we see his talent every day in training, and I think we've seen it already in spells in games. So there's a really good Ramsey at Villa, but there's also one at Burnley, and he's just a little bit younger, so in time as well he'll be able to show all the quality he has.
Does that ever come into your thinking that you've got a player who used to be at Villa and it'd be a really good idea to put him into the mix in that particular game, or is that just not logical?
No, I've seen this play out both ways, right? But I think the key thing would be for me that it's at this moment in time is just about the team, so I'm not focusing too much on the individual. But I have had in the past mixed experiences where you return with Raheem Sterling the first time to Anfield, and you probably think, well, we could have done with a little bit less venom in the game, and I had it with Fabian Delph as well when we returned to Villa Park, and so it depends. Sometimes it works your way, like Frank Lampard, who scored a goal against Chelsea when he was playing for City, and sometimes it goes the other way, and when it goes both ways, I just try to make a football decision.
And finally, from me, can I ask you, only a couple of days to go now, of course, to the window. And I know we've touched on it in recent weeks, but have you got to the point yet where you and the chairman have got your head together and decided on targets or decided on funding?
Yeah, we're in constant discussion. I mean, I'm very conscious of, I think, where the club is at, and just making sure that the club is able to sustain and remain healthy. But like I said, the biggest improvement we can make is just our players that we just mentioned, making again another step throughout the next few months. And then I think what we're discussing at the moment is kind of what if scenarios. If someone was to, I don't know, if an offer was to come in for a player, would we be able to do something in the market? If a player came available on loan, would we be able to do something? So I don't think you go and buy Premier League quality players at this moment in time with the type of money you would have to spend for it. We just wouldn't be able. But there's clever things we could do to maybe strengthen the squad and give us an extra push.
Dare I say, does one of the what if scenarios include what if we don't survive?
That's been there since day one. So it's never been a taboo within the club. I think it's part of good management. I mean, it's if you come in from the Championship to the Premier League, naturally you're one of the bottom three budgets in the league as well. That means every team in the league, except for the two that came up with you, have got more money to spend than you have. So that just means that realistically you have to have a scenario like this, even if obviously your goal and my job is to beat those odds. But we plan for that, and we never shy away from it. But we also plan for staying up, and that's always the more exciting scenario. But there's no taboos for us. Yeah.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Just with that in mind, Vinny, do you actually take much notice of what's going on with the other teams around you at the bottom end of the table, or do you just try and sort of shut yourself off from that and completely concentrate on everything
I
yourself?
can only focus on our team because in the end, I feel it's still all in our hands. And every minute I spend trying to help the players is better spent than trying to hope for other teams to do something, do us favors, you know. I don't know. I have a feeling that our team has got that run of games in it. 2-3 games where we're able to win games in a row. I think we have it in us, but we're not there yet, and we've not been able to do it yet. So that's my sole focus.
Having played Liverpool last time out, and obviously they're top of the league, when you go out against a team like Aston Villa, who are also doing very, very well, does this in some ways make it the ideal game to play now, because you can say, right, well, you know what the level was like against Liverpool, go and repeat that, but obviously do things better against Villa?
It's certainly a game you have to look forward to. Like I keep saying, is what's the point of being in the Premier League if you're not going to Villa Park wanting to play that game? So for us, that's not even a discussion. Where, you know, we're wanting this game, but in the end, you know, these type of games for us, it's if you look at the probabilities, it's always important to seize our moments. So I think we had moments against Arsenal, we had moments against Brighton, we had moments against Liverpool now. But in these type of games, the chances you have to put in the back of the net, and you have to have a goalkeeper or a defender, someone that makes an extraordinary performance. That's always part of it. But every time you play this game, you get another chance to create a moment like this, and that's what we're always looking out for.
And you mentioned the success that Villa are having at the moment. How much of that do you think has been down to Unai Emery, and the job that he's done? He's probably surprised a few people, I think, maybe.
You know, I think it's massive. You know, I think he's probably landed in a sleeping giant anyway. That was well funded. That had had a long-term strategy about acquiring talent and the best talent. And he must have done his research on that, and he must have spotted that, and he arrived with his coaching methods, his ideas, and it just turned them into a machine. And that's the thing, you know. I mean, he landed with a squad with real raw potential in terms of physicality, matched with decent ability on the ball, and attacking players who still had to probably prove in the Premier League, but who were just ready to make that step. And you combine this with a top coach, and that's what you get. And I don't see how they won't keep growing, because they have so much clarity. So yeah, I mean, you can see from how I'm saying it, I have a lot of respect for Unai Emery.
Thanks, guys. Rory, PM Media.
Hi. I just wonder if we could sort of rewind a bit and do a bit of a head count, really, and obviously the game's coming thick and fast, just how the squad's shaping up fitness-wise and energy levels, and how much changes might be expected.
We're recovering players as we speak, so Ekdal's still not available for this game, but we're recovering players, and I think we're in decent shape. Not everybody is maybe 100% how I would like them in terms of fitness, because they've come back from an injury. But yeah, these things just need a little bit of time.
And then obviously, as mentioned, halfway through the Premier League season, but at the end of a year, and when you started the year, you were Championship club, dreaming of going to places like Villa Park. Do you think yourselves, your squad, the fans can sort of end this year in a happier place despite the league table? Do
you know what? It's nice that you mention it, because sometimes I forget as well to reflect on this. And when you just mention it like this, and I think about it, it's actually been a fantastic year. You know, I think 2023 was filled with all the type of memories and experiences you want to have in your life. You know, lifting trophies, winning football matches, and also sharing moments with the fans. You know, not so long ago there was 60,000 fans in Burnley on a parade. Where we found 60,000 people to come out, I don't know, but they were there, and that's been a part of our year. So yeah, I still think that you're always aiming for more in 2024, and you know, setting the bar higher is always the goal.
And after you last played Villa, I think it was your first home game back in the division, and you said at the time it was a reminder of how much your team had to learn about the Premier League and sort of the things that were required at this level. How much of, between then and now, how much of that learning has been done?
I think the improvement has been there for everyone to see. At times as well, we've been a little bit unlucky with the caliber of the players that we've had to miss on. You know, we can't afford to miss certain players for too long, and it's just happened, and it's life. But in the end, I think the improvement has been there for everyone to see. But you know, turning into results is ultimately what makes you a Premier League team and a Premier League player, and that step we haven't made yet. So it's a constant chase for that, and turn those performances into results.
Thank you. Brendan, have you anything to add? Are you happy?
Can I just ask, this is just kind of your, it's about Anderlecht, and I don't know if you're keeping up with the league over there as well. That's all I know.
Let's see where the question goes.
Obviously they haven't won league since 2017, but they're quite close in there. So how do you reckon their chances are of staying in that race?
Honestly, I've been so focused on my job and the games that I have to watch. The only thing I can say is I watch it as a supporter. So if I have the chance, I think clubs like Anderlecht always come back at some point to be the clubs that they are supposed to be. It takes time, but I can say that from my side, it's just literally still like I was when I was a kid, you know, just supporting a club that I played for what was it? I spent nearly 17 years at the club, you know, so seeing the colours do well for me, that it means a lot. Will they be back to what they used to be and win league titles? I always think it's a matter of time with clubs like that.